As you can see, I do have peaches going on. I have harvested several already, and this tree and a nearby peach tree will be ready for a full harvest in maybe 2 weeks. That is going to be a lot of fun, so delicious. I think peach trees are my favorite fruit tree to bake from and preserve jam from. Hi, Kim here, Olive City Oasis in Northern California, far Northern California. We're Zone 9B. We finally hit over 100 degrees last week. We had a very cool June for us. And yeah, summer is in full swing now. And I thought that I would take you around, show you what's going on in the gardens and on the homestead this first part of July. Some really interesting stuff, some good stuff, exciting stuff, and maybe a couple of things that aren't so great. Yeah, one anyway, for sure. But at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you something super cool, and that is a new tropical tree that I just unboxed and uppotted 2 days ago. It's looking great, and I can't wait to show you what it is. I'm thinking that you probably haven't seen this one or grown this one yourself before. But if not, if you have grown it, tell me about it. Tell me how it's doing for you. I am so excited to see how it does here. And yes, this is a chair propped under this branch, holding up heavy weight of fruit, so I don't lose another branch. I have lost a branch on this tree before. Peaches are notorious for heavy fruiting, and I thinned so much more than usual this year. Very proud of myself, and my peaches are looking awesome. The baby goats are definitely doing their job, clearing the suckers out. Where are they? There they are, having breakfast. Yep. That is vanilla bean in the trough where he likes to be, and butterscotch on the outside. Aren't they cute? They're doing very well. You might be wondering, what are we going to do once they finish off all the suckers down here? I'm not showing you all the trees on this part of the orchard, but these are some of them. You can tell there's one down there with still quite a bit of suckers on it, and there's some behind me with more suckers. But once they all start looking like this, we'll bring in cut olive branches from some of our many mature olive trees around the property. These two definitely won't be at a loss for food. They can snack all day long if they like, which they do. Well, as one of my favorite YouTubers likes to say, look at all that gorgeosity. I love crepe myrtle trees that have the deep maroon leaves. And, you know, nothing can beat their looks when they finally come into bloom. They do bloom late. Every year I'm like, why is it the middle of May and they're still not blooming? But actually, mine don't break blossom here until the very end of June. But they're well worth the wait, and I'm very much enjoying them now. Here's the other one, also looking fab. Just bright splashes of color amidst all the greenery of the fruit orchard. And I've also got this very young crepe myrtle, green leaves and lovely purple blooms. This is at the roadside, just planted it last year, and it's already looking pretty wonderful. I might need to get some more. Arkansas blacks coming on. More apples. And more. I do like to grow semi-dwarf trees and keep them at 5 to 7 feet tall. Works great for me when it comes to harvest time. And some more. In total, I think I have a dozen apple trees. I'll have to do a count sometime. All right, in addition to the peaches and the apples, I've got a lot of other fruit coming on right now, including lots of pears of different kinds. I think I have 4 different pear trees. This is my most loaded pear tree at the moment, and I definitely need to prune it this fall once it's dormant because it's out of control. And of course the mother fig tree, and boy do fig trees like to be bushes, but we are starting to get some height finally out of this older tree, but it is always loaded with brown turkey figs, and I get at least 2 crops a year, occasionally a third. One of the persimmon trees I just planted at the end of May because they shipped it so late, bloomed out about 3 weeks after I put it in the ground, and I was very happy with that. But let's look at the other one, because the other one did not bloom out. Not for a very long time, so long I thought maybe it was dead. But finally, 7 weeks after putting this bare root in the ground, I see the buds are breaking, and I am so happy about this. This is a coffee cake persimmon. The first one I showed you is a chocolate persimmon, and I just can't wait a few years from now to have the abundant harvest I know that I will have. Really loving the spread of this young tree, and despite its late start, I think it's going to do very well here. This zone 9B is noted to be great for persimmons. In fact, I'm not sure why I haven't planted one before now. Definitely looking forward to the future, though, with these two trees. And I'm also seeing that in the near future, I need to cut that grass and add some more mulch. Nice and mulch now. Just need to do the mowing around it. Pulled out 3 more good-sized zucchini today. I've had so much zucchini out of this bed in June. It's been amazing. And now at the end of the bed, my cucumbers are climbing and growing. I've got a few volunteers on the ground too. There's a big cucumber growing on that volunteer vine. And there at the bottom of the trellis, you can see one growing. Here's the danger I found with growing the Armenian cucumbers on this wire trellis is sometimes the cucumber grows right into the wire. See that? I'm gonna get it off now before the condition gets worse. So there we go. Just a little bit of damage there, but it didn't even break through the skin, so no worries. It will still be delicious when I use it in a salad later today. But overall, the Armenian cucumbers are doing very well on the trellis so far, and pretty soon it'll be completely filled up. And I have been wonderfully happy that the mice that took out my delicata bed plants, although they left the watermelon alone, have not touched the zucchini. And at this point, even if they did, it wouldn't be a big loss because I have harvested so many zucchini. So much zucchini bread, so much stir fry, and so much shredded zucchini in the freezer. More zucchini. Okay, here's quite a big one. It's like a treasure hunt, really. Aside from that, I do have a few other zucchini that I've harvested the last few days that I probably should deal with today, right? Yeah. And in what was the delicata and watermelon bed, I've now planted volunteer tomatillos that I've transferred from other places around the garden, and we'll see how they do. Any that don't make it, I've got some young peppers that I can plop in here. The watermelon, on the other hand, is doing great. Direct seeded it quite late, and it's, just doing its thing. And I actually just discovered yesterday this huge thing. Can you see it yet? It's hiding like they do. And there it is, sun and moon watermelon. Growing large and nothing bothering it. And there's the guy I'm shearing next week. Usually I do them just on the same day or one day apart, but as old as I'm getting, I gotta take a break in between them now. Look at all that hay and all that wool. Yeah, buddy, you're gonna look a lot different come next week. More like this pretty dude. Hey there, how you doing, Toffee? Did you tell Coco how easy it is? Did you remind him he gets lots of treats when we shear? Yeah. Yes, lots of treats, Coco. You're so cute. Look at that underbite. Why did I have to say that? I jinxed it. The next morning, not even 24 hours later, I come out to do my animal chores and start my watering, and I find that that very vine, the one with the big watermelon on it, has been ripped out of the bed. If you're not sure if your watermelons are ripe, so I did a video about all the ways you can tell if your watermelon is ripe. However, I didn't have a choice in this matter. The vine was ripped out, so took that watermelon in and, well, Hopefully, I don't come out tomorrow and find them all ripped out. So yeah, very sad, but that's what's happening. And apparently that's the big garden challenge this year. There's always at least one, it seems. Keep life interesting, I guess. But yeah, these mice are so destructive this year. I've never, ever had this before. But what can you do? You can only do your best. And so that's what I'm doing. And also trying to focus just on the positive, because there is a lot of positive going on. Planted a pepper in here this morning, and I'm going to plant another one, or maybe two here, where they ripped out the watermelon plant. Also went ahead and planted another pepper right back there, and some blue salvias right here in front. Those are going to look nice when they fill in there. And I've basically decided, as I've been walking around this morning looking at things, that I'm going to repurpose this bed in the fall. I have a few more fruit trees I want to get, and I'm going to put 2 of them in this bed. And one of them is going to be a jujube, and the other one I think will be a guamachil, which is also called a Manila tamarind. That is just a wonderfully interesting tree. Fascinating fruit. And if I like it, if I find the fruit as delicious as I think I will, then I'm going to plant more of them. But I'm going to have to see how it does, if it likes my climate and everything. And then I'll think about where to put the rest. It is a very thorny tree, the guamachil. So I might plant several as a hedge somewhere, maybe along the new fence I'm going to put in around the bottom of my fruit orchard. But yeah, you got to focus on the positive and not worry about the fact that there's always something attacking something in your garden. Still, there can always be plenty we enjoy. Plenty to help us relax. Plenty of beauty and plenty of delicious things to eat. Well, hello, girl. How you doing? You enjoying the nice fresh water? Yes, you are. She gave me the side eye. She wanted to get in, but not in front of me. Look at all these sunflowers on one plant. I love the autumn beauty sunflower. And I'll tell you what, the chickens love the seeds when I dry the heads in the fall. And another beautiful sunflower, this one a yellow one. Planted several along this fence line between the olive orchard, the chickens' olive orchard, and my garden, my lower garden. So those will be nice when they're all in bloom. Look at all those beautiful sun golds. These make a great breakfast snack, and they're wonderful in a cold pasta salad. My absolute favorite cherry tomato. Just so good. Roma tomatoes here on the end of the bed are developing nicely. I think over on this side, next to the savory, I might have a few ready for harvest. Yep, gonna pull these off. Oh, they just come right off. Some tasty salad tomatoes. Rhubarb growing back after having harvested it recently. Even the younger plants coming back for another harvest. I think it'll be the third. Quite a few peppers on this little red snacking pepper plant. Kind of loaded actually when you get in there. They're just sort of invisible when they're still green. I think one of them turned red though. Let's see where that is. Oh, they're on this one. Yeah, some are starting to turn. And there's a red one. And there. Yeah. Those are really good. In stir fry or cut up fresh. A little spicier than you might think actually. Oh, there's a red one down in there too. And next to them, guess what's already breaking out of the ground? Very happy to see these. Hopefully they're going to be climbing this arch trellis soon. These are Chinese long red noodle beans. My favorite bean of all. They start off a deep crimson and change to green as you cook them. So yummy. Yep, I've got 2 coming up over on that end of the arch trellis as well. So it'll be fun to see them grow. Hopefully they'll take over that whole trellis. Some are savory in bloom and the bees are loving it. There is some yarrow looking so pretty. And some lime thyme down there flowering. Oregano and green sorrel. And look at the deep pink of this yarrow. Makes a wonderful medicinal tea, by the way. And that honeysuckle that I pulled up from volunteers and planted everywhere, this one is doing fabulous. Some more green sorrel, the chicken's favorite treat. Lots of multicolored sage, and in this little bed we've got basil, more tricolor sage, some red vein sorrel there, and a volunteer tomatillo because they popped up everywhere this year. Happily, I'm getting a second round of my hot sweet banana peppers. Yeah, I've only ever grown sweet banana peppers before, but these are hot sweet banana peppers, and they've been a hit around here. And like I said, this is the second round. Hopefully it'll keep going all summer and early fall. And here amidst the society garlic and thyme and Mexican poppies, I have a surprise. I planted a sun, moon, and stars watermelon right here. Wasn't sure if it'd get enough sun, but it's now rising above the shade of the society garlic, and I think it's going to do great. I do, however, need to take care of this proliferation of, yes, borage, which grows everywhere once it gets started. But I'm going to take a lot of these young borage before their taproots get too big and transplant them down in the orchard, I think. Now, in these 2 containers, I've got melons, as you can see. These are green nutmegs. They taste sort of like a honeydew, kind of like a cross between a honeydew and a cantaloupe. So yeah, they're doing very well in these 2 containers here out in the middle of the garden. Butternut squash in bloom around a blood orange tree and my young cherry tree there. And yeah, I've got some squash coming on. There's one. And, oh, there's a big one right there. There we go. Oh, there's another one under there. And in here, I've got some butternut. There's one right there. And some kabocha squash developing. Let's see. There's one. Oh, there is another butternut back there. Here, the kabocha has started to come up to the trellis. So we'll see if we can get it to grow up the trellis. Right now, growing up the trellis are some Chinese long red noodle beans and some honeysuckle. And we'll see how that does. I'm a little worried that when the Chinese long red noodle beans die out in the fall, that I'm gonna have to cut them from in and around all of the honeysuckle vines very carefully, but you know, we'll deal with that problem when it comes, that challenge. Oh, here's another butternut. Right down here, little one. Hello, Mr. Lizard. How are you doing today? And growing up this arch trellis is Richmond apple cucumber. And I have yet to harvest any, but there are several little ones on here, and it is trying to grow up the trellis. I just spotted a little one there. That's about the size they all are on this plant so far. And I have another Richmond apple growing up the other side of the trellis. So that'll be something to look at in the future and see how it does in another month or so. The artichoke transplants that I took are looking great, which is quite reassuring after the scare I had when I came upon them and realized I think I transplanted them in too much sun too late in the year for them, but they bounced back. Artichoke are so resilient. One of my mini young fig trees, started from a cutting from my mother fig tree, is producing figs already. And another fig tree growing from a cutting, and it is full of figs right now. Look at this. We've got them down here, over here, all the way up the tree. This one also from the mother fig tree. But I have other fig trees bearing fruit too. I've got a Peter's honey fig and a strawberry fig and a violet de Bordeaux, and they're all fruiting right now. If you want to start growing fruit trees, this is probably the easiest fruit tree to grow and the easiest to propagate. Fig trees. And there's all sorts of varieties, so you can really have fun tasting and experimenting with them. Kumquats. Not only are there fruits on the tree, but new blossoms as well. Let's check on my recent rescue. I have over here, amidst my shady corner, this is about the most sun it gets all day, I've got a little cat crate, but there's not a cat in it. Let's check it out. Water and food, and hello there, how are you? I found this little pretty bird injured with a badly messed up leg about a week ago. I did not think she was going to make it, but she's looking nice and healthy and seems to enjoy her little home. And hopefully everything works out great for her. I can only do my best, so I try. All right, let me show you my latest tropical tree. Just got it, just potted it up. It looks so healthy and good. This is an ice cream bean tree. Now my next video is going to be all about my young tropical trees, an update on the 5 that I showed you last year, and then this, the Inga, the ice cream bean tree, and I'll tell you all about it. But I am really looking forward to this one growing. It's a fast grower, and it does really well in this zone, zone 9B, in both the heat of the summer and even in our winters, which can go down to 25 degrees. The fruit is amazing, sort of a blend of cotton candy and ice cream, and just super, well, unusual looking. So in a few years, when it starts fruiting, you can tell I'm very positive, right? It will be fun to share with you what the fruit looks and tastes like. I guess you're getting a sneak peek of a few of those tropical trees right now. So thank you for joining me for today's video. I really appreciate you and your support, and I would love to hear more about you, your gardens, your orchards. Please tell me in the comments what is going on in your area, what you're growing right now. So until next time, have a wonderful week and enjoy July. Enjoy the great weather and enjoy relaxing in your garden and your orchards.